Hi, I'm Rachel, and this is Designed Resilience, the corner of the internet where we talk about building daily habits and practices that help you have the foundation you need when life is amazing or life is hard, because both take inner strength and resilience. And today I'm joined by an incredible woman, Dr. Joi Lewis. She's the CEO of Joy Unlimited and president of the Healing Justice Foundation, empowering individuals, institutions, and communities to heal from oppression-induced trauma. And this is a topic that I have so much to learn about. And so I was so excited to connect with Dr. Joi. Now, I firmly believe that reading an introduction off of a piece of paper is no justice to the fabulous woman that we have joining us. So I'm going to stop talking and let Dr. Joi tell us a little bit about herself. Dr. Joi, will you tell us a bit about your background?
Thank you so much. So glad to be here, Rachel. I'm excited to be here to talk about how to have a celebration of living daily, particularly after surviving a stroke a little over a year ago when I almost died. And I've been able to use the orange method that I created and write about in my book that helps me to celebrate life daily instead of waiting until after I pass away to have a celebration of life.
Oh, that's so powerful. My goodness. So let's back up a little bit because I love where you've gotten to. So, strokes are generally completely unexpected. When this
Mhm.
happened in your life and took you kind of to the edge of life, were you expecting anything like this?
Not at all. It was a total surprise. It happened on July 5th, 2024. And it was just like all of a sudden. And as you said, it's like, did my whole life just changed in a matter of instant? I was not at all. I had no symptoms or anything. They still don't even know why it happened, but it did.
My goodness. And I'm one who's hesitant to say that all things necessarily happen for a reason, especially very traumatic things. But I bet, did the your orange process come out of that experience?
No, fortunately, I had it before
Oh, good. Okay. So
and had
help us.
been practicing it
Brilliant. So what does that
about
involve?
10 years before I had
Oh,
created it.
perfect.
Now, as I look back, I see that it was in preparation for even writing a book was in preparation for what was to come, but I did not know that.
Wow. That's incredible. They say the only hindsight is 2020 and looking back
That's
on the
right.
journey. So take us back that decade. What inspired you to create a process for healing?
Well, I had a career in higher education for 20 something years, and it was a very intense things were happening in the world and in my personal life. And I was like, okay, how do I show up for life daily? And
Mhm.
working with clients, I was working with a lot of people who were just struggling to show up whenever things, unexpected things happen, or just facing, learning how to face life on life's terms.
Mhm.
And so I started a meditation practice about 20 something years ago. And I said, okay, the meditation is not something that I can use. These practices I need to use ahead of time, not like in a microwave and you just put it in and then it's just going to work. It doesn't work like that. I got to thinking about it, was thinking about like, it's kind of like whenever the juice is about to run out of your phone and you try to plug in really quickly, but it takes some time before it's going to charge up.
Yes.
And the orange method is like that. It's like, excuse me, it helps me to plug into source daily instead of
Ah,
waiting until I'm out of juice.
mhm. That's brilliant. So it involves meditation. Do you do silent meditation? Do you do guided meditations?
I do a mix.
A mix. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So meditation, either quiet time or
Mm.
quiet, or because I think it's important to have just the time. You start the process starts is meditation, which is about getting grounded, mindfulness, which is about getting present, emotional liberation, which is about getting free, and conscious movement is about getting moving. like getting
Oh,
unstuck. So the combination of those things.
brilliant. Is that a continuous ritual, or are those things that you try to do within a day? How do you organize all of that?
I really like to start with a morning ritual
Oh,
to start my day in that way. And then
yeah.
it's also, there are also good practices when you need a reset. You just need to
Yeah.
pivot or shift.
That's a
Mhm.
good point. Because, when you start the day, you haven't been necessarily hit by the world if you're protecting your time and kind of taking that
Mhm.
quiet. But then the world sure comes in
It does.
and it sure hits you. And so being able to pull on those tools to kind
Right.
of bring yourself back to yourself.
Right.
Yeah. What kind of mindfulness practices do you enjoy?
Really, mindfulness, as I said, is about getting present. So sometimes it's just about checking in with myself and making sure that I know to get myself to the present moment.
Okay.
So things like just asking questions like, okay, what's your name?
Mhm.
Did you have breakfast this morning? It's like I remember whenever I was in college, I played basketball, and sometimes you would might get hit by like a ball or something, and they went to check to make sure you were okay. So they would ask you a set of questions. That's really just mindfulness
Wow.
to get you present. What's the date? And sometimes I have to be like, okay, what's your name? Okay, Joi Lewis. Where are you? Okay, I'm in St. Paul, Minnesota. Let me be where my feet are. Let me just be right here.
Yeah.
So just asking some check-in questions are very helpful.
I have never thought about how, medics or like sports medicine people, when someone's been knocked down, use those questions because that is so
That's what they're doing,
smart.
trying to get you to the present moment. Hmm.
Yes. And it's hopefully simple, right? It's not a
Yeah,
strain on
right,
trying to do too much at the time
right.
when you need to be calm. That is so smart.
Hmm.
That's awesome. And then, okay, so we've got grounding and getting in the present. What was the third?
Emotional liberation.
Oh, yes. I was excited when I heard that. What does that mean?
Basically, those things that you might be carrying that are stressing you out, how to get it up. You need to get it up and out.
Okay.
So I have a journaling practice for that and encourage people to journal. I use a practice called two-way prayer,
Okay.
where you write a letter to your higher power or something greater than yourself. And then just about whatever is going on for you. And then you just take a moment and give your source or the divine an opportunity to answer you back.
Yeah.
And then you write down what you hear.
Amazing.
And it's just not to be carrying those things, but to get them up and out.
Right. Oh,
And it's
that's,
like a dialogue. Hmm.
yes. So I think so. I was raised in a Southern Baptist church, is where my family
Okay.
went. And I love the idea of making that more of a two-way experience
Hmm.
because in my upbringing, it very much felt like just sort of kind of throwing things up, and it didn't help me necessarily always with my anxiety. It didn't help me
Hmm.
because I didn't make the space and the quiet for the response a lot of
Right.
times.
And the thing is that your higher power can be whatever you want it to be,
Sure.
you know. And what I love about the process is that I have a very loving relationship with my higher power.
Yeah.
And and the divine talks to me in such a loving, kind way,
Mm.
sometimes more kind than I talk to myself. So I get to hear that, and it gives me some perspective and space. And I'm not just carrying things around or just playing stuff over in my head over and over.
Yes. I love the separation because I do think a lot of us um, are our own meanest critic. We're our own biggest bully. And I
Yeah.
love that as you've built this relationship with your higher power, you found them to be loving and
Loving and
kind.
kind. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thoughtful and patient and
Yeah.
affirming. Hmm.
Yes. Oh,
It's
I
really
have goosebumps.
great.
I'm getting a little emotional. That is beautiful.
Okay.
And giving it the time to treat it like a religion, because I think that's another piece that can make it hard to connect with maybe formalized religion, or at least in my experience, is there's not really like a personality I'm getting to know. It's not like a friend that I'm
Right.
learning
But
about.
that's the way it works. You got to
Yeah,
have a personal relationship and over time. If you never spend time, then you can't build a relationship.
absolutely. Yeah, beautiful. And then movement as the end, getting unstuck, you mentioned. And I like
Yes.
that. I've always been a person who, if I felt too much emotion in my body, I love to dance because it would
Yes.
just like, you can kind of shake it out and be able to manage it a little
Definitely.
bit better. Um,
Definitely.
what kind of movements do you bring into your practice?
Dancing and yoga.
Oh, okay.
Hmm. And prior to the stroke, I did a lot of walking and running.
Ah,
And so, fortunately, a couple of months ago, I started doing a walking podcast called Girl Trip. It's
oh,
awesome.
fun.
Yeah. So it's a movement of 1 million Black women around the world. And it's a walking podcast. So you listen to the podcast and you walk for 30 minutes.
Brilliant.
So that's really great. Hmm.
That's amazing. That's incredible. You say that so casually that you have brought all these women with you. That's all over the world. That's
Right.
amazing.
I didn't create the podcast, but I listened to it.
Oh, I mean, just being a part of something that,
Yes, it's definitely been, and to know that I'm not alone, knowing that there are 1 million other women who are doing the same thing. It's been
yes,
incredible.
absolutely. And you're not, a, what is the word I'm looking for? You're not a stranger to movements.
No,
I mean, in your higher education, I saw some information about your creating space for leaders and organizers in the Black Lives Matter movement. You've got a
yes.
book. You are used to being a part of and leading these movements of people. What inspires you to do that?
A lot of it comes from growing up, my family and home of origin. I grew up in East St. Louis, Illinois,
Okay,
not to be confused with St. Louis, Missouri.
right.
Um, but it was there. I was a part of a community that really looked out. It was old school, really looked out for each other, and that I was taught to uh, make sure that you are serving your community and getting involved. And so that's always motivated me. You know, um, One of my spiritual teachers, Nikki Myers, says, nobody can heal for you, but you can't do it alone.
Oh,
And
yeah.
so what I talk about is often radical self care, but it's in the context of collective care. You
Okay.
have to be connected with other people. Um, and I was finding over this year, particularly as I had the stroke, being in the hospital, just isolated, that was killing me.
Mhm.
And so we started a caring bridge, and so we could update people on my progress. And there
Oh,
were thousands of people that joined that would tune in every day. And it was
amazing.
that made such a big difference. And as I said, as I started, so I had the stroke on July 5th of 2024. So July 5th of this year, we decided to have a celebration to mark the year anniversary. And I called it a celebration of living
Yes.
instead of a celebration of life,
Yes.
which generally happens after somebody dies.
Mhm.
And I was like, no, I want to celebrate living. And there were about 70 people who came, and we basically practiced the orange method together. We meditated, we sang, we danced. We People came to the mic and let things out. And so that emotional liberation, it was beautiful.
Oh my goodness.
So those are the things that motivate me is if I want to heal, I have to be connected to community.
Right.
Mhm.
Growing up in an environment where you were connected in community,
Mhm.
have you encountered or have any of the people you've worked with been afraid of that? Because like if I look back on my upbringing, like my parents, they had like a Sunday school class that they hung out with, but I didn't see my parents have like a best friend. I didn't see my parents, you know, we didn't really, we knew our neighbor. We said, hey, neighbor, like, but we didn't
Mhm.
know their names, you know? Have you, have you seen anyone that's like that, and how can you help them be more comfortable in community when they don't come from a community like you did?
Yeah, that's such a great question. We are, as human beings, we are communal people. Actually, it's just in us. So if people get the opportunity and there's a container, a safe space for people to be able to take the boast, but to be able to be connected with other people, they
Mhm.
will do it.
Okay.
It's sometimes you just need encouragement and have to make sure that there are proper safeguards that are around to be able that you can bump it, that you can have somewhere to bump into, or the way that it's guided. But I find that I've gotten together people like thousands of people in a room who've never met each other,
Mhm.
and you can't hear anything because people are talking and buzzing because people want to they actually want to be connected to each other if it's safe, but you have to build the context. So whenever I am encouraging people to listen to each other, I always start with this. There are three things I want you to remember about the person you're listening to. Here are the three things. They are amazing, they're awesome, and they're brilliant.
Mhm.
So if if that's the direction, it gives people space to be able to share and talk because they know that the person who's listening to them is not confused about who
Right.
they are.
Yeah.
And that's all people want is just an invitation to know, like, this is a said people are not going to be confused about who I am. And there's a lot of messages that we are told to not trust each other, not to trust people because they're different. Well, we're all different. So then you stay guarded and
Mhm.
end up not connecting. And that's what keeps people from being in community with each other. But
Right.
if we can take that away and just assume that everybody that you meet wants to be your close and personal ally, it will change everything.
Yes. I can feel that in my body, that invitation. Um, and how nice it is to, because I don't, when I enter conversations, especially maybe like at work, right? And I'm, you're trying to do the job you're supposed to do, but also like build the
Mm-hmm.
relationships you need to navigate and everything. Um, in having it in my mind that they're not confused about what I'm here for, that they don't think I'm trying to do anything or other than help, just relaxes my shoulders. I can
Yeah.
feel the physical impact of that
And even if
space.
people can't show it, it still doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay. Yeah.
So if you just make a decision, I'm like, this person wants to be connected to me, even if they don't even know it yet.
Yeah.
And if I lead with that, it's a very different thing because
Yes.
I'm illuminating light and it's going to bring light back out. But if I go in expecting that there's some malintent, that's how I'm going to I'm gonna have trouble connecting. and they're going to have trouble
Yes.
connecting with me.
Yes.
But if we just decided, no, everybody is amazing, awesome, and brilliant,
I love that.
because that's what's really true about who we are. That's
Right.
actually true. It will change everything.
Yes. And for people who might be recovering people pleasers, the ability to carry my mindset of that's what they want. And if I engage
Mm-hmm.
with them as they want to connect with me, I need to open it. I need to give them the space to do that.
Yeah.
Oh, amazing.
And sometimes I'm like, you encounter people and they are really not showing up in that way.
Mm.
And I just have to tell myself, they really want to be connected with me. They just don't know it yet. It's okay.
Yes.
But it's like, I know that I'm amazing, awesome, and brilliant.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out soon. So we'll just give them time.
I love that. That is so amazing. Is that something that came very early in your development of your of the Orange Method and the foundation and the like? Is that something that you kind of knew early on?
Yeah, I would say it came from growing up in my family of origin, particularly my grandmother's. My
Oh,
grandmother was very much like, um, you treat everybody with love and respect and kindness. And nobody is better than you, but nobody's less than you.
yeah.
So I just think having that kind of indoctrinated in me my whole life,
Mhm.
then I'm always looking to see how I can connect to people and how I can. My other gift is really about how do I give people to each other.
Oh, that is a unique and special gift, the ability to make connections and hear
Hmm.
someone and be
I
like, oh,
love
you should
connecting people.
meet. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that.
Oh,
I love connecting people.
you probably have no idea how big your family is with all of the relationships that you've built over all of the different platforms you've had and groups you've worked
Yes.
with.
And I call everybody my cousins.
I love it.
So I'll be like, these are my cousins. You're my cousin, just don't know it. Um, and they're all the different kind of cousins. And we are just like going to we're planning our family reunion for this summer. And
Yes.
each family and community has its own culture and way
Mm.
of being. And maybe I just don't understand it and I need to learn those ways. But, so I talk about all the different kind of cousins. And I'll be like the white cousins, the black cousins, the Latinx cousins, all the different kind of. I'll be like, okay, whose cousins are we going to be with?
Right. Yes.
And it's great, but we're all cousins. Mhm.
Yes, definitely. Because and it helps again, that feels like another element of the safety.
Mhm.
If you're already family, you might be weird, but we gotta love you anyway because you're
That's
family.
right. Yep. And my cousins are my favorite people. My grandmother, when she passed away, she had 33 grandchildren,
Wow.
44 great grandchildren. So I have 32 first cousins.
Wow.
Love first cousins, yes.
That's amazing.
And, and they were my first friends. So,
Yeah. And all in East St. Louis?
yes.
Oh, amazing. How fun is that?
It was so fun. It was like my grandmother's house, and then my aunt lived next door. My other aunt lived across the street. Then another aunt lived on the next street. So it just was like, it was so awesome.
That's so cool. I love and with they're kind of a good age range, or were you all the cousins
Yeah.
kind of about the same age or
No, but different age range. Yep.
mm.
I was kind of in the middle age
Okay.
range. Had quite a few younger than me, quite a few older than me, which was
That's
awesome.
amazing. I love
Mhm.
that. So you got, yeah, the exposure to community, the value of community, that was all
Yes.
there and natural. Was it as you entered, because I mean, as the heights of education that you've been in, national and global movements,
Hmm.
as you began to see the ways that other people operated, and then you found that the way you engaged worked across all the cousins. Is
Hmm.
that what inspired you to write your book and do your foundation to kind of had that message out? You're like, this is working. I should tell people.
Well, yeah, and partly I think doing work as a speaker and holding space, you you get to connect with those people who are in the room.
Mhm.
But then there are so many other people that I wanted to be able to connect with and to share the message. Um, but I can't always physically be there.
Right.
And people are amazing, awesome, and brilliant, as I said. So sometimes it's just about having information
Mhm.
or a way to be able to connect with these things. So I wanted to write the book to get the message out to as many people as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. You've done a lot of hard things. I mean, writing a book is hard.
Mm.
Organizing people is hard. Surviving something that sounds like would have taken you out is hard.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that all of the things you were putting together in your method and book felt after the stroke like preparation. And as someone who also life has shown me a way to kind of make it easier and more flow. But I also get into days where I just want to throw that whole thing out the window and be like, I don't want to be a model of resilience anymore. Like, I want to be a big mopey pile of whatever. Does that ever happen to you with all that you know and have seen?
Oh, definitely. I've
Okay.
had those moments and I've had that time where I'm just like, I just want to, it's like, coach, take me out.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and sometimes I have allowed that to happen, but what I have my experience is that I have found is worse.
Ah,
So I kind of think about it as like driving a car.
okay.
And my car, I would whenever I would park it, I would automatically put on the emergency brake.
Okay.
But sometimes I would come back out to the car and then I would forget that I had the emergency brake on.
Yeah.
And I would drive around and let you drive for a little bit. But then after a while, if you still were driving with the emergency brake on, the car would start shaking.
Yes.
And that's kind of how I think about this. It's like doing these practices. If I try to show up for them daily, then it's more like putting on cruise control instead of the emergency brake.
Brilliant.
You set the pace, and then it's going to keep at that pace.
Yeah.
And you have to check in on it because even when you put on cruise control, if I set it to 50, it will stay there. But if I'm pushing too much on the accelerator, it's going to go over that. So I have to pay attention and get back to the speed that I want to be at. And I
Yes.
think it's the same thing in our life, like and if I need to make a sudden stop, I can pull the emergency brake, but it's only supposed to be just to override for a couple of minutes, not where you're supposed to live. It's
Right.
emergency brake is not the cruise control.
Hmm.
So yes, there are definitely days that I'm just like, oh, I just don't want to do it today. But I can try to set I can try to set a pace that I know I can keep at
Yeah.
with with my cruise control, but I don't want to go. If I don't do something, then I'm gonna be put in a situation where I'm gonna have to go into using the emergency that's only supposed to work for just a little bit. So I
Right.
can't live there.
No. That is so smart. So smart. And I love both directions that when we don't do the things that take care of ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
that's like we're actively choosing to put that emergency brake on and slow us down and our life's going to start reacting pretty
Shaking.
soon.
Yeah.
But also not pedal to the metal.
Right.
That there's a midpoint that's sustainable.
Yes.
That's so smart. Because I think when not everybody, some people are really good at probably keeping their emotions and their activity kind of in the middle. But I know I can go whoop whoop. You kind of
Yeah.
like, I'm doing everything, all of my habits, and I'm checking all the boxes. And then like Saturday comes and I'm like, I'm doing nothing.
Right.
And that doesn't feel great. You're absolutely right. It
It
doesn't feel
doesn't.
great.
That's not sustainable either.
No, it's not. Do you think of that moderation or balance? I'd never thought of it before, but that feels like part of self care. It feels
Hmm.
like if I am willing to not do my maximum, but also not hit my bottom, but kind of like be in the middle, that I'm being gentler with myself than like demanding and pushing and, military sergeanting, um, or just letting it completely go. Do you think about that like that?
Well, I think the point is that it definitely still takes some planning,
Yeah.
even if you're going to do, even if you're going to put on. I've been thinking a lot about driving in cars because of the stroke, I don't drive anymore.
Okay.
But I've been doing these exercises called Cybo Mind exercises
Okay.
that take you through a simulation of doing things as if you're doing them, like
Oh,
a
okay.
visualization. So, um, so I've been thinking a lot about driving and
Mm.
the things that I used to use, tools that I used when I drove. So the thinking, like I said, about the emergency brake, and then thinking about cruise control. If you're going
Yes.
on a long trip, particularly, it's nice to just set a pace and
Yes.
don't have to think about it. You don't have to worry about getting a ticket or going too slow and not getting where you're trying to go.
Yes.
So I think that for our self care, it's the same thing. Like trying to find like what are the tools that you use under which circumstances? When do
Mhm.
you want those in place? But you have to plan and you have to have a set of tools and practices ready.
Right. Does the radical self care that you have found and share, is that um, defined by the orange method? Are they separate concepts? Um,
It's a part of
a part of, okay.
the Orange Method of healing and radical self care.
Okay. Got it. Yes. And I'm sure, have you found that as you practice the daily disciplines or the regular disciplines, do you get to know yourself better? Have you discovered things about yourself that you didn't know?
Yes, or just reminded. I'm reminded
Mm.
of the need to do things um, consistently and as a practice, and not sporadically. I think
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest thing is that I want left to my own devices. I'm somebody who likes to, who in the past just like to just do things how I feel whenever I feel like doing, but that doesn't work really for me.
Okay.
I, I do better with having a plan. And it's not, I used to think that I didn't like plans. It's not that I don't like plans. It's just I don't like rigidity.
Oh,
So I need to have some flexibility, but I do better whenever there is some kind of plan, even if I deviate from it, but I need some commitment.
right.
And I think that's part of what I've learned with uh, the Orange Method, even as I was saying, after having the stroke and being in the hospital. And there was a period of time, maybe a month or two after I had been in, I just was feeling kind of disconnected from myself. And I was like, why? Then I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm not doing these daily practices that I used to do.
Mm-hmm.
And even though I was in the hospital and didn't have all the activity that I used to have, I still needed to get up and do my two-way prayer and do my
Mm-hmm.
meditation, listen to my music. And the absence of that left me feeling really disconnected. So
Yeah.
I need to have a plan of action that I follow.
Yes. I have also been thinking personally about the value of looking at things as a practice because I think that
Hmm.
um, somewhat of a performative person. I'm kind of a perfectionist. I like to do things I'm going to be good at because it makes me feel comfortable. Um, but I am learning that most of us are kind of making it up day to day. I mean, we have things
Exactly.
that we're naturally good at or naturally can pick up quickly, but that really life is more of a practice day to day than it is like a get up and execute and do the things. And it
Right.
feels freeing, kind of like what you were saying with the I like a plan, but not rigidity. They're not the same thing. I love that.
And I don't need something that I have to then feel bad about because I didn't do it.
Right.
And I think that's most people, you know. So I would just say if you're listening to this and you're like, this is not self-care is not, it's not about let me add more things to my list that I may not get to and so I
Yeah.
me to feel bad about. No, it's a practice. So
Yeah.
you get to show up for it and you will get the benefits. And here's the good news. You don't even have to want to do it. It's not a requirement. You don't even have to have a good attitude about it.
Oh, that is freedom.
It's not necessary. It's
Yeah.
nice if you do have a good attitude, but you don't have to. You can have a bad attitude. You can be like, I don't want to do it. But you benefit because you did it, not just because you want to do it. You're gonna get the
Yes.
benefits because you actually did it. So it's a decision. And the difference between wanting to do something and willingness is a decision. Wanting to is usually about how you feel.
Hmm.
And it's and the feelings are important. They're meant to be felt.
Right.
They're not necessarily reliable for making decisions.
Yes. That, yeah.
It's like, are you willing to do it?
Hmm. I love
I think about working with my physical therapist. They'll say, Joy, do you want to do X, Y, and Z? And I'm like, I don't want to, but I'm willing.
yeah.
So I'm willing
Yes.
to do it. And so now they chuckle. It's like I'm willing to do it. So I'll make the decision. It's not that I want to do it, but I'm willing, so I'll do it. So all you have to do is just willingness is a decision. So
Yeah.
so the orange method will help you get into some willingness.
Right.
And that's really
Yes.
all you need is willingness. You don't have to want to, you don't have to be like, oh, I'm happy about this. It's okay.
I have my husband and I have joked. I think this might have been a commercial before, but said we're going to go on a walk for our, like a stupid walk for our stupid mental health and our stupid physical health,
Yeah.
and then you end up like kind of like your physical therapist. Like kind of, I end up laughing at myself because here I am
Yeah.
outside in a beautiful day walking and just mad about it.
Yeah. It's okay. And I think something else is like if you don't make time for your wellness, somebody said you'll have to you'll be forced to make time for your illness.
Yeah. Yeah.
So make the decision to make time for your wellness. So you're not
Yes.
forced into making a decision to take care of
Right.
yourself and your illness. Yeah.
Yes, that's probably right. Because I would, if I had met you just now and not known the medical trial you'd been through, I would not have assumed you had been through it. I
Mm,
would not have thought that she's had a stroke.
mm.
And that's probably your healing is probably reflective of the care that you took of yourself before. Your body, mind, and heart knew
I
how to
believe
be.
so. I think it's like neuroplasticity. It's like, yep, it those practices,
Yeah,
it didn't prevent it from happening, but
right.
it did, I think has made a big difference in the healing process.
Yeah,
Is
that's
remembering. Mhm.
yes. And I think that is proof enough, right? Because I can imagine there are people who, you know, I don't really know it's going to pay off, right? If I don't feel
Mhm.
like doing it, if I'm not excited,
Right.
is it really going to matter? Yes, Dr. Lewis
Yep.
is a perfect example of how that
I
happened.
just I just think it would have been really difficult for me to try to start these practices after this big traumatic thing happened.
Yeah.
To try to convince myself then. It's like, but doing because I had been doing these practices all along, it still wasn't easy, but
Mhm.
it was more accessible because I wasn't just starting it.
Right. Yes. And I bet every person in a medical emergency wishes they had it to cling to
Mm-hmm.
because as soon, like you
Mm-hmm.
said, your illness forces a decision.
It does.
And if you haven't built those muscles before, that's you're coming from so much farther.
I
Yeah.
mean, I was bummed. I wish I could say that it's preventative.
Sure.
I wish it would have been preventative, but it wasn't. But it's still paying off.
Amazing. Amazing. Well, I know that those listening to us will not want this to be the only way that they connect with you. So, how can people get more information about the Orange Method, um, get plugged into the gatherings and the events that you're facilitating? How do people connect with your work?
Um, Please go to my website, Joi Unlimited.com, and you can sign up there
Amazing.
to get on our mailing list. Also, come and practice with us. You'll get when you sign up, you'll also get access to a free meditation, hand over heart meditation that I'll guide you through. Come and practice with me. You
Yes.
don't have to wait to start these practices. You can start right away.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah, striking while the iron's hot and getting in there
Yes.
and building it. That's amazing. And you were named Joy for a reason.
Yes. Well, thanks for that quick invitation out to share. So my mom named me Joy, and my mom actually passed away when I was 7 months old.
Oh my.
But the really amazing thing is that she was really sick. She had cancer,
Mm.
and there are no pictures of us together because she was in so much pain after she had me. She couldn't even hold me. And people used to say, so my dad raised us. I was 7 months old. My brother was 1 and my sister was 4, but my mom passed away. And
Wow.
people would say, you always talk about your dad. What about your mom? And I say, she passed away when I was 7 months old. And folks would say, I'm really sorry. And I used to say, it's okay. I did not know her. But then my niece was born, who is now 21 years old. And she and her mom and their family were living just about 30 minutes from us. So we spent a lot of time together. So when she was born, I would hold her all the time. And sometimes my sister, excuse me, my sister might have to go make a run to the store or something.
Mm.
And so I would keep her. And I remember this one particular time, my niece was about 6 months up, 6 months old. And my sister went to go run her errand. And my niece cried the whole time. She screamed the whole time my sister was gone. And I was like holding her. She had been fed and was dry. So I was like, I don't understand why she's crying. And then my sister came back after about an hour. My niece heard my sister's voice, and then she just immediately stopped crying. And I was like, oh, I stopped saying that I didn't know my mom because I did. I
Yeah.
was with her all that time in her stomach. So I did know her. And I just, you know, there was at some point, she didn't come back. She had passed away.
Right.
So I stopped. But I stopped saying that I didn't know her. And even though there were no pictures of us together, my mom was in all that pain and she named me Joy. So every time I hear my name, it's like a gift. And I realized she wanted me to know that it still was joy for her, even though she was in all that pain.
Oh, Dr. Joy. What? Okay, I just have to ask, do you feel like you are part of a line of healing women?
Absolutely. My
Yeah.
mother, my grandparent, my grandmothers, absolutely.
Yes. That is strength that can't be quantified and is
Mm,
necessary for humanity to continue, I think.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a gift.
Thank you for doing so much good work with it.
Mm.
Thank you for sharing it.
Yeah. I'm so glad. I mean, how brilliant was that of my mother to name me Joy?
Incredible.
So brilliant.
Yes. And what a gift for her through your sister to show you that that's
Hmm.
what it was.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Man. You are magic.
You know, all the glory, as I say, belongs to
Mhm.
God, belongs to my higher power. And I'm
Yeah.
so thankful to be able to be a vessel.
Yes. Yes. Mm. Beautiful. I know I lost my mom a couple years ago. So I
Mm,
had her
sorry
for
to
a
hear
lot of my life. But I am grateful every day for the stories that she still tells,
that.
the
Hmm.
things that she still shows,
Yes.
and that I don't think they ever go very far away.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's a beautiful thing to just remember. You know,
Mhm.
we have angels around us all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
And Rachel, as you think about the concept of the fact that you're amazing, awesome, and brilliant, what comes up for you?
It relaxed my body physically
Mm,
because I think as somebody who's 100% extroverted, I love people. I get excited. It can be overwhelming. I've met people who physically like backed away from me because my energy has been too much. And so as I got older, I started learning to temper it,
mhm.
slow myself down, move myself back so that other people could be comfortable because I thought they were thinking instead of I'm brilliant and amazing and awesome that well she's a lot, she's overwhelming. I didn't have, I thought that's what they were thinking of me.
Yep. And that puts you in the like, put on your emergency brake, and then that's going to make you be uncomfortable because you're not getting to be yourself. Your light needs to shine. You
Yeah.
can't hide it.
Yes, so that is the biggest, it because it's, I feel like when I try to modulate and guess what people are thinking, it's awkward and I'm not
Yeah.
always being the one I want to be or saying what I want to say or those things.
Right. And
um,
what other people think about me is really none of my business.
I've certainly been working on that.
That doesn't have anything to do with me. It's about what do I think of me? And what does the divine think of, say who I am? What
Mm,
report am I going to believe?
right. Yes. Yes. What I make up about other people thinking or what is in my own head and heart, because that's what I can be confident in, what I hear in my
Mhm.
own self. I
Yes.
know that's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Powerful,
Yeah.
powerful stuff. Thank you so much for your time today. I will definitely make sure to provide direction to the website and people can start right away with the meditation that you have and
Yes.
see all of the offerings and learn
That'd be great.
from a woman who has overcome death and helped facilitate some of the great movements of our time.
Yep. And let's practice this life together of showing up to re, reconnect to our own humanity and to each other's.
Yes.
That's why we're here. And
Yes.
if you don't get anything else, just know that you're amazing, awesome, and brilliant.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Perfect. Oh, thank you, Dr. Joy.
Thank you,
And
Rachel.
absolutely. Well, We hope you guys found this conversation helpful, and we'll see you next week.
Sending you all the love your heart can hold.
Yes. Yes.